For a moment there, I thought the title of this video was Tesla short sellers will get bent over. Apparently not though. Tesla will have to bend over backwards to keep share price up, according to this guest.
Joining us now, Steve Wesley, founder of the Wesley Group and a former Tesla board member. Steve, it's great to have you on, and let's start right there.
Yes, let's start right there. You notice there's never a single guest in the finance media ever who's just there to share their opinion without also simultaneously promoting their company, their fund, their product. You always see these people. Author of this book, manager of this, founder of this. By the way, I'm not hating, that's how the game is played. But can anyone recall a single instance where somebody just appeared in the finance media out of the goodness of their heart, wishing to share their thoughts and opinions without the entire audience being reminded of where they work, what services they offer, what book they've recently written, etc., etc.? The second thing, the credibility provided to former Tesla board member Steve Wesley. Just to be clear, some time ago, one of my subscribers on X, who happens to know a few things about the inner workings of Tesla, commented on a video in which I was sharing some thoughts of this former Tesla board member. And that guy who is a Tesla insider, what's his name again? Elon something? Oh, Elon Musk. Yes, so Elon Musk, commenting on one of my subscriber-only videos, said words to the effect of this former Tesla board member was removed from the board for, quote, weaselly behavior. Now, I wasn't there at the time, so I don't know what actually happened, but I did just want to put that on the record because this wasn't a public comment. So unless you're one of my fellow subscribers and saw the comment from Musk at the time, you probably don't know this happened. Had CNBS not mentioned Steve's status as a former Tesla board member, of course, there would have been no need to bring up Musk's commentary, but they did. So I just wanted to provide that little bit of perspective. After all, see somebody in the finance media, a former Tesla board member, that's good. Former insider, they probably know what they're talking about, probably very supportive of the company, and maybe it's true. But since they mentioned it, I really thought it was worth also pointing out that Musk literally comments on a video suggesting this former Tesla board member is a former Tesla board member due to, quote, weaselly behavior. Of course, neither you or I were there, so we'll never know what actually happened. And hey, maybe I hallucinated that comment from Elon on this subscriber-only video. With that said, I look forward to hearing what this former Tesla board member has to say about the company's prospects.
I just used the phrase, I'm going to put it to you, comeback kid for Tesla. Is it warranted?
Well, we'll see. Look, 2026 is going to be a pivotal year. Share price today, record high, $1.5 trillion. But Tesla's likely to see the second year of declining sales and shrinking profits. So they've got to get Robotaxi approval, and they've got to move beyond 2 cities. And that still is going to leave them way behind Waymo. So regulatory approval in more cities.
Look, I'll agree with Steve on this. Robotaxi definitely important for Tesla in the future. It's going to drive massive profits, massive growth. So no argument there. I notice he mentions that even if Tesla expands beyond a couple of cities, they'll still be, quote, way behind Waymo. So way behind in terms of number of cities they're legally operating Robotaxis in. Sure, I'll give him that point. The numbers are the numbers. If Tesla's currently operating in 2 cities and then expands to 4 or 5 and Waymo's in 6 or 7, then yep, Waymo's ahead in terms of number of cities. Fleet size, sure, I'll give him that as well. But we're investors here, right? So what we really care about is not today or tomorrow or next week, but longer term, what's going to happen? And let's be clear here, folks. Waymo is light years behind Tesla. What do I mean? With their technology, they have a brittle, fragile, as we saw recently with the blackouts in San Francisco and Waymo vehicles blocking traffic, not knowing what to do, unable to operate because the lights are out and power's out. This is what really matters, the underlying technology. Tesla's ability to scale widely and rapidly will be on display in 26, 27 and beyond. My prediction is Tesla will rocket past Waymo on any metric you want in the next couple of years, whether it's number of cities, number of vehicles, total miles driven, you name it, Tesla's going to crush it. Because Waymo is light years behind with their technology. They don't have a general solution to autonomy, so they can't scale widely and rapidly. Even with unlimited financial resources, Waymo is constrained by having brittle autonomous software that isn't generalized. So I reiterate, Tesla is light years ahead of Waymo on the software piece of the puzzle, which is extremely important. But there's 2 other areas in which Tesla is light years ahead of Waymo. One is on costs, and this isn't hypothetical. Today, Tesla's production Model Y vehicles starting at around $40,000 are capable of operating legally without anyone in the driver's seat or the passenger seat, currently doing so in Austin. The cost for Waymo to put one Robotaxi on roads, the hardware itself, the vehicles, is significantly higher than for Tesla. Not just a few percent, but many times more. Part of that is to do with the fact that Waymo doesn't actually make vehicles themselves. They have to pay somebody else to make the vehicle. And by the way, Those vehicle manufacturers are not in the business of charities, so they're making some money selling the hardware to Waymo. But even if Waymo could miraculously catch up to Tesla on the software, they can't. And the hardware cost, they can't. There's the other problem. Scale. As far as we know, Waymo has roughly a few thousand, maybe 2-ish or so. Call it 3, I don't care. Call it 5, I don't give a shit. Fuck it, you know what? Let's make it 10. Even better. Nowhere close to that, but hey, let's just call it 10,000. Tesla makes that many vehicles every 2 days, roughly. Might I suggest one of these companies is in way more trouble than many people are willing to admit, and it ain't Tesla.
More revenue growth, they're going to have to bend over backwards to keep that share price up.
How to think about that competition between Tesla and Waymo? I realize Waymo has logged many more hours, but...
Now, this will be a very telling response, as I've said. But I've explained this a trillion times, but Tesla has the general solution. No one else has that. Big deal. They can scale widely and rapidly. Others can't. Tesla vehicles know how to drive. The end. Not just drive in a certain location, in a certain... No, they know how to drive. Period. This is very important. They also have a massive cost advantage for the hardware. And, of course, a massive scale advantage. They're literally producing thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of vehicles every single week. More than Waymo's entire fleet. Every other day, bam, thousands more vehicles produced.
Hey, Steve, it's Dom. I wonder, with the stock right now hovering just around record highs, if not hitting record highs just in the last couple of weeks or so, what is the catalyst that you see needed for investors to continue that story in 2026? You mentioned some of the benchmarks you're looking at, but what exactly is the roadway in terms of what they need to deliver quarter by quarter for investors to keep saying, we're going to keep the stock, we're going to keep bidding it up?
Look, I think they got to see a few things. They have to see more growth. I think it's lower cost models, but they need to prove that they can grow in new areas. And one of those areas is their energy division is booming. Major provider of power walls, mega packs, energy blocks for utilities. And there's a revolution going on in AI and data centers, and it's forcing utilities to look for new power suppliers. Tesla right now is filling that void. Energy division will grow from about 10 billion last year to 14 billion this year. That's 40%. They can keep up that growth. The energy division may be that spark they're looking for.
So yeah, absolutely. Tesla Energy crushing it. More growth, no doubt. Definitely helping the bottom line. And I think there's going to be near infinite demand for their gigantic batteries for years to come. Now, call me crazy. Probably true. But I actually believe that most Tesla investors will certainly be happy to see Tesla's energy business thriving. Are going to be most interested in watching progress of their Robotaxi business in 26 and beyond. Quite recently, we saw some videos posted online, including from Tesla's AI lead in Austin, Texas, sitting in the back seat of a vehicle with nobody behind the wheel or in the front passenger seat, legally operating in Austin, Texas, a sign of things to come. So I think in 2026, most Tesla investors are going to be more interested in finding out whether Steve Wesley, who claimed that Tesla was way behind Waymo, or words to that effect, whether those comments age well throughout the year, whether Tesla scales widely and rapidly. Of course, I could be wrong. I mean, I don't have any insight into how every single Tesla investor out there thinks. But personally, I think most eyes are going to be on Tesla's Robotaxi business. I think progress there is what's really going to move the needle.
Yeah, it's distributed power, Steve. Hey, it's Brian Sullivan. It's like billions of minutes of electrical power rolling around on batteries. That's the way to look at it, because somebody's looking at it in a big way. Tesla's market cap is larger than every American car company combined. You can even throw in a couple of French companies or whatever's left in Europe, by the way, on top of that. But what did the market get wrong? In mid-March, Tesla was at $222 a share. Politicians were kind of dumping on it, making fun of Elon Musk. That literally ticked the bottom. The stock has more than doubled since then. What changed in the sentiment since mid to late March?
I think the question actually says it all. Brian's right there. Nothing meaningful about Tesla's business changed or had deteriorated at that point in time, yet the stock collapsed, seeming to suggest that the collapsing stock price wasn't at all related to Tesla's underlying business or their future prospects. Remember, this was just prior to the Robotaxi launch in Austin, which, by the way, Tesla told us was happening. We could tell was on track to happen because we could watch the videos of FSD, supervised, intervention-free drives all over the place. Just a couple of months before the first Robotaxis began operating legally in Austin, which we knew was happening, we could see was happening. We didn't just have to believe what Tesla said they were going to try and do, because we could watch the videos of FSD, go, oh shit, they're that close, that's actually going to happen. Stocks in the low 200s. Later that same year, more than doubled. Good opportunity to remind everybody of a wonderful saying. Over the short term, the stock market is a voting machine, aka sentiment driven. But over the long term, it's a weighing machine, e.g. will actually capture real substance, real value. The last 8 or 9 months have been a perfect example, watching that whole cycle play out from voting to weighing.
So that's the trillion-dollar question, because again, you're seeing flat-ish growth. What the heck happened here? I think what people are believing is that Tesla is on the cusp of delivering full self-driving. And again, getting full testing in Texas without drivers is a big step forward. But they need more. This energy thing is going to be huge. People are beginning to realize car companies aren't just car companies anymore. They have to be technology companies. They have to be energy companies. Don't take my word for it. Look at big firms like Vistra last year, one of the world's largest independent power providers, had a faster growing stock than NVIDIA. Tesla has this division of energy products, power walls. You've seen them in garages, but now these mega packs for utilities and these big energy blocks that can provide up to 20 megawatts of power. That's a real difference maker for the company. So if they can prove this new technology offerings are real, that's going to give them a boost.
So you'll get no argument from me regarding Tesla's energy business. It's growing, it's enormous, meaningfully contributing to the bottom line. In fact, here's a prediction about Tesla Energy. In fact, not even a prediction, it's a fucking fact. It just hasn't happened yet. Ready? Tesla will sell every energy product they produce. And I'm talking about the big stuff, grid scale, megapacks. They will sell every big energy product that they produce, and they will produce as many as they possibly can in 2026 and beyond. Demand off the fucking charts. Make big batteries, you will sell them. As many as you can produce. Globally, we're headed for a massive energy crunch. AI data centers, huge, massive increase out of almost nowhere for energy. The no-brainer of no-brainers. Where I do potentially disagree a bit with Steve is whether or not investors really give a flying fuck. Yes, it's cool that Tesla's printing money with their energy business, but I don't think most investors really give a flying fuck about that, nor do give a flying fuck about vehicle deliveries. I think it's safe to say all eyes are on autonomy. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.